Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you have been doing good. I've been okay too, and in this video I honestly never thought it would come a point that I would make this video about the progress in my house. But truth be told, my house has come to a pause for a bit. I know most of you have been asking for progress on my socials, what has been happening and all that, and at least I want to tell you what's been happening. And the progress has paused for now, not as in for long, but I've just put the progress into pause so that I can do what? Regain strength and recalculate some things and some decision we had made. So I just want to give you what's been happening. First thing is the reason that I've paused construction is because trusting the workers. So as I said, as you can see here, you can see my windows. My windows are big. They are so big, as you can see, and you see even the door and all that, they are so big. And it reached a point that we took like a month or two vetting people who can do the windows. Remember, the place I'm building is in up country. We don't have so many people experienced with big windows. After to leave that aside, being experienced with big windows, there is this design of windows that I want. And you give a person the design and all that, and then they start saying they can't do that, or they say they can do it. Actually, we have vetted like 3 people, but what I usually do is I tell them this is this design, just make a sample. I usually give them a sample of the bathroom windows to do, and then they make that one bathroom window. There is a bathroom window that I usually tell them to do, and then they get it wrong. You see, you tell them to repeat, and then I just realize we are just wasting time here. This guy will not do it. And the problem with people is they don't accept that they cannot do whatever they expected to do. They don't want to tell you that I can't do this, and that's the problem. Others started giving me their own designs, the designs they are used to doing, but I don't want that. I want the design I want for my house. So we ended up sourcing for somebody in Nairobi who will be doing the windows, and currently he is actually doing the sample, and I can see it's going so well because he is familiar with the windows that I want, because in the house that I was living in, it had those kind of windows. So I really loved them. They were so simple and all that, and practical. I'm not going for what everybody says that they are going for because it's in the market. I want practicality, something I can live with, something that will not disturb me. So that's another thing that is delaying the construction to go. And then we have design changes. Yeah, I know I've shown you my house design, but have so far made some changes in the design and all that. I think you'll see that when the work goes on. So in that design change, we had to sit down again with my contractor and all that, and tell him that this is what we thought, can this work here and all that, because every day you get this design and you are like, I think we can put it here, and there is things that I want in my house, and I want them to be done well and all that. And then you have, I don't want to start regretting certain choices and all that, because if I go with a design that I don't want in my house, a design that I had not envisioned, remember, I'll live in this house for as long as God blesses me with another money to build somewhere else or all that. And I don't want to regret that I did this because people said I should be doing that, or I did this because this happened. So I don't want that. And as I always say, we learn as we go. So I think that's my policy. Whatever I want in my house, I want it to be done well. You know, building is not, you cannot build like other people. I'm not, the thing that people don't understand most of the time, I'm not building this house to finish it, like because they want to see it finished. I want to build this house and build it well, as in the quality I want it to be there, not just for people to see that I finished the house. I want the house to be done and done well, not like that I want to put this and then I will change that. No, I want to put at least something I can live with 10 years, and then after that I can think of another design, another whatever I want to do. So I want it to be done and be done well, not just to be done the way most people do. I want it to be done and be done in the correct quality and whatever everything that I want it to come into vision. So another thing that is causing me for the delays, as I said, it's that I just want everything to be right, to keep on going to the drawing board and see with this one work, with this one work, and all that. So another thing that is delaying this construction to be done is finance. Let me say this thing. I had my finances in order, everything that I wanted. But sometimes it reaches a point you are like, should I go this way or should I go this way? Should I make this financial decision or this financial decision? For instance, in my case, how finance is being an interruption is because there are some things I wanted, and then as we were continuing redesigning and finding a simpler way, I find that they will not work for us. For example, for us, we usually run everything at home. As we work at home. My children are homeschooled, so we use internet every day and we use Starlink. So we are like, and in this place, baby, it's so sad because this place we are building, electricity keeps on going off, inashindanga ikipotea. Like right now I can tell you, as I'm recording, the electricity went out yesterday. We have no electricity in like 2 days. We even go like for 3 or 4 days without electricity, and that's when we realized this will not work for us because everything we run at home. So we went back to the drawing board. Yeah, we had planned for this is putting solars, but it was later after we are done with everything. So we were like, solar is it's like a leisure, so we were like, we'll do that later, pole pole. And then after now the experience that we've had here, we are like, no, we like need solar now as the house is being done, because you cannot keep on surviving with this. We have to work, my kids need to learn and all that. We run everything with electricity, and with no electricity, things cannot work. So what happened, we have to put solar first, and we have to start now rearranging priorities. You see, at first solar was not a priority, but now it is a priority because we never knew that this is the situation of the electricity and all that. Another thing that we had not planned for is water. We have water and all that, but then we realized we need an underground tank. You see, you have now to start. I think I showed you the underground tank. If you have not watched that video, you can go and watch it. We realized that we need water constantly. Yes, there is water, I will not disagree with that. We have like constant water coming and all that, but because this is a very fertile place, a rainy place, most of the time the water comes in when it's sandy or all that, and sometimes it does not have a lot of pressure. Yes, the water is there, but it cannot go to the tank, it cannot run the washing machine. So we realize we just need a water tank and then a pump. So that's another thing that happened. And all these things that we keep on changing. At first we thought we could use electric showers to run and the solar and all that, and then we realized there are better ways to do this. I don't you people whether you have seen the heating pump. Yeah, we have this heating pump that heat water. I can't remember their name, but we are currently in the process of importing it. So when it gets here, I'll have to show you that. You see, so priority keeps on changing and all that, and then we have to keep on pausing because we have to make this place at least, you know, the good thing on when building, when you are at the same place you are building, priorities keep on changing. I'm sure if I was building when I was far, I could have just built the house and not knowing that what I need first. But because I'm building when I'm here, I can now because of what I'm using daily and my activities daily, I know what priorities I need to work on first. I know what to do first to make my life comfortable and all that. So that's another thing that has caused that push the pausing of the construction and all that. But I'm telling you, it has not paused in a bad way, but we have discussions ongoing with all the things that we need. And as you know me, I'll show you all the progress when the work is being done, and you'll see I have a good reason for that. So because of the pressure, you know, the pressure of building, for those who have already built their houses, they can tell me, and they can be my witnesses, that building has a lot of pressure. Mentally, it is even mentally exhausting. You get so exhausted mentally that you sometimes feel that you need sometimes to get your rest and all that, at least so that you can be able to continue. Another thing is constant decisions. You find that you are making a lot of constant rushed decisions, which I don't want to be the case in my house building. I don't want to make constant decisions every time that somebody say this, I want to do this, and somebody say this to be done, you need to put this here. You know, those constant decisions that are supposed to be made when building, then worrying about mistakes. At some point I started worrying about mistakes. If you have not watched the video that I mentioned about seven mistakes that I've made in building, you can go back and watch those videos, because there are some mistakes that I've made. I don't think I'll show you right now because my kids have been playing here, so the mistake cannot be seen so clearly. But in those seven mistakes, I've mentioned that some of the things that happened while building my house, and I have to repeat some steps, like all the foundation would be repeat. So I'm even worrying about which other mistake might be made as I continue with construction. And you know, when construction, you feel that it's like you are slow. I don't know. For a very long time, I've been feeling as if this construction work is going very slow. And then I reminded myself, what if it's not slow? What if I take more time to actually go about my plan again and again to see what I really wanted? Because it reaches a point that everybody that was aware that you are building keep on asking for what? Constant updates. And you know how that is exhausting. Your friends, your family, even neighbors that don't know you keep on asking what's the progress, what you're going to do next. And you feel that pressure to finish your house so quickly, and that's something I was not ready to deal with. I did not want people to just keep on asking me what I'm about to do. And the way I live, I usually believe that if you are not helping me, or if you are not involved in my life, you are not in a position to keep on asking me what's happening in my life. So that's another thing that contributed to me imposing. That is generally build pressure of building. I decided let me just pause because it was too much, and I wanted just to pause a little bit, relieve the pressure, and all that. I know people who have built houses can what can testify that this is true. There is a lot of pressure when building your house. So another thing is the expectation versus reality. I think that's the main reason why I have paused building so far, because I think I over expected. If I don't know whether that's right to say it. Expectation. I expected like when I started building, I had an average time that I wanted the construction work to be done. I wanted to be done in like 4, maximum of 5 or 6 months, and then I realized it's even going slower than I thought. Things always don't go your way. Things will just work out when they work out. I don't have a good term to say. When the time, let me just say how people say, when the time is right, everything will just line up. So because at first I was expecting the construction to go so fast, and then things happen and that could not be the case, and then we have hidden work that people don't see. You see those two small things that happened. You are excited that the whatever the foundation has gone up, but people miscalculate the amount of time it will take actually to dig the actual foundation. So things like that, we have material delays and all that, unexpected problems. We have the fear that the construction never gets finished, because most people say that you never finish construction. I don't know how that true is, but I think I'm about to experience that, because the more I'm continuing with this, the more I'm realizing I need this, I need that, I need to change this, and the construction needs to go the other way. So that's another thing, expectation versus reality. And then have emotional attachment. You know, when you start building, you feel emotion, you start imagining your future in that house, wanting a better for me, wanting a better life for my family, because this was actually my dream. Why owning that house really matters to you. You know, all those things you start imagining, you being excited about seeing your vision becoming real and all that. So it's just, you have a lot of emotions. You start thinking whether this will become what you really wanted, what you really envisioned, and all that. And for some point you just feel like this is not the vision that you had envisioned before. It's so hard for you to just start like thinking, what if it does not come true? What if it is not what you really wanted? What if it goes wrong? What if the plan fails or the plan backfires? And all that keeps on becoming the real fear. You just fear of what will happen next, and what will be your next thing to do, or will you ever build another house and all that. But at least that's worry for another time. Then we have some burnout. Sometimes you feel burned out, mentally tired. You are constantly planning on how things will be done. You are just emotionally drained, losing motivation temporarily. Sometimes you just, especially in losing motivation, it came a time that I lost motivation. Why? Things are not going my way, my timeline is running out, because everybody has a timeline when they start building. Maybe not everybody, but I had a timeline. So when that timeline started not aligning with what was happening on the ground, you see the way people say that kwa ground vitu ni different. So when that timeline doesn't align with what you are doing, sometimes you feel demotivated temporarily, but at least there is a little bit of motivation when you see everything is going your way. And then I have this constant fear of making the wrong decisions. I don't know whether people experience this or it's just me. The fear of making the wrong decision, like you choose the wrong materials. And I said, if you have not shot that video of the 7 biggest mistakes that I made, I at some point chose the wrong materials, especially the building blocks. I chose not a good quality of materials, but I did not know that. So that's another wrong decision I'm fearing to make, because in the stage that I am right now of finishing this house, materials, choosing the right materials really matters. So I'm actually taking my time to consult with people, to consult with constructors, to consult with people who do different type of finishing. So I'm doing a lot of consultation with them so that I can know at least whatever I want for my finishes, and whatever I'm going to do, I'll be actually choosing the right material for my house so that I cannot come to regret later. Because I realize if in finishing, if you choose the right material, it will come to haunt you later, and it will be so painful to be doing what renovations all the time. And we all know that I think renovation is expensive, and doing renovation in 1 or 2 years after you have built that, it's not that good. And even it reached a point I started comparing myself with people, because you know the media or the internet makes you feel like building is easy and should be fast, because you go to the internet and you see people have said, I built this house in just 3 months, and then you look at your house and you are like, oh, it's been like 4 or 5 months, no progress, no nothing. And you feel like, wow, now you start comparing yourself. It reaches that point, I don't disagree, it reaches that point, you start comparing yourself with others, and you feel like mine is slower and all that. Because when you follow the internet and building in reality are two different things. And that's why I keep on reminding people, don't compare yourself with anybody, just go with your pace and all that. So I think some lessons that I've learned, can I call them lessons really, or things that are, yeah, let me just say lessons I've learned during this construction. Actually, this is my first construction I'm doing, is don't rush. First thing, don't rush constructing, just use your pace and all that. Another thing, expect extra cost in anything. If you have, these extra cost miscellaneous, they come every now and then, things you did not expect to happen. Then you need to take breaks when needed. Construction is not a right death sentence. If you feel that you need to take a break, just take it, and you'll be fine. I keep on reminding people that just because you're constructing, people doesn't have the authority to come and question you. Never allow people to question your life decision, as long as it's your life decision. And if people are not contributing to that life decision, don't allow people to question it. Just build slowly, protect your peace during that project. Construction is not easy. If you don't protect your peace, you can even go mad, you can even give up. So, and peace is the most thing. If you have peace, you think right, you do the right thing, you'll make the right decision. So I can just say, if you are building, just protect your peace and all that, so that at least you can see your dream come true. And then just do whatever you have to do. Don't just rush people, trust your process and all that. So I think that is for today. For those who are asking about the progress and all that, at least that's what's happening in my life right now. And as we continue going, I think you'll see as whatever we are planning to do unfold. So thank you for watching. If you have not watched my other videos, mostly the mistakes that I've made during building, so that you can see where I come from in this decision, please go and watch it. And I think I'll see you in my next video.